Hello and welcome to the Drummergy Podcast, episode 173.
Wow.
I don't know why that was so loud.
I don't either.
Was it loud for you?
Yes.
Let's try it again.
No. Wow. That's a little better.
I was trying to come up with some way to be funny.
Oh, Fred.
Hey, there's new tools and I just wanted to see how they work.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Drummergy Podcast. I'm your host, Fred Rock Fisher. I am here with the producer.
Hello. Good morning.
And the show is sponsored by 12th Fret Music, located at 671 South Capitol Boulevard downtown Boise, Idaho.
Yep.
The Pacific Northwest's largest inventory of new, used, and vintage guitars, basses, amps, and its accessories.
And the 64 cabinet Marshall wall.
The 64 cabinet Marshall wall. The famous.
Yep.
The largest guitar rig in the world.
Yeah, we got to get some famous people in here to check it out.
I know. They got to go play the famous wall of guitar amps.
Yes.
Yes. So today's topic is going to be what makes a musician easy to work with. Or I guess you could say what makes a musician difficult to work with.
Oh.
But before we get into that, are you ready to hear what the national days are?
Yes, please.
Well, it's National Beer Day.
Beer Day?
Beer Day.
Wow.
Not beard that you have on your face. Beer that you
I
drink.
don't have a beard on my face.
Thank you. I appreciate that in so many ways. Yeah. You've heard about hair in your food? Well, there's a hair in your kiss. Yuck. All right.
You just said a hair in your kiss. Just one long, dangly beard hair.
One, yes.
Oh, I'm so grossed out. Oh, okay.
So am I. So am I. Yeah. So how do we get to there from no beer day? Who has this much fun at 7 a.m.?
Well, you know where a good place is to get a beer on National Beer Day. Now I'm trying not to say beard.
Right. I think
Das Alpenhaus has a great selection of German beers.
Yes, they do.
And they are quite good.
They are quite good.
Yeah.
Now, maybe lunch? Maybe. Wait, I have to start teaching at 1. So
see how you ruin everything?
I know. Dang it. Well, at any rate, it's also National No Homework Day.
Oh, wow. Well, it's funny because our kids never seem to have homework anyway.
No.
And when we were kids, as you remember, we had homework every day.
Yeah. And every day was National No Homework for Me Day. Whether I
yeah. Your grades reflected that.
Yes.
God.
Hey, I had an A in band.
Yeah, you sure did. It's the only thing keeping you from not graduating.
Yeah.
Oh,
music saved me. See? Music saved me then. And
music saves.
Music saves. Yes, it'll save your academic career.
Yeah. Apparently the new policy is they just don't send kids home with homework anymore. They give them time to do it in class, which they say they did when we were in school, but
no.
Time in class was like maybe 10 minutes.
No.
And I remember in math especially, it would be like, I don't understand how to do this. I'm going to get home and not get it.
How the tides have shifted.
Yeah. And now it's like, they've been in school all day and they need to go home and rest. I'm like, that's what I was thinking when I was in school. I've been in school all day.
Got a bunch of kids with easy lives compared to us, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It is also,
Wow.
you're going to like this, National Coffee Cake Day.
Oh.
And the Human Bean just down the street has a coffee cake that I like.
They do have a decent coffee cake.
Yeah.
Though.
Although when you take it out of its wrapper, it tends to crumble all over you.
Isn't its nickname Crumb Cake?
I don't know. Maybe it is.
Oh.
Jamie Vink is here.
Well, hello, Jamie.
We always appreciate a visit from Jamie Vink. Jamie
Vink.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, so the topic of today, what makes a musician easy to work with, I think is going to tie in well to my past experience this weekend, where I went and played with the GNR, Guns N' Roses tribute band, Pretty Tied Up in Salt Lake.
Yeah.
Actually, just south of Salt Lake in Draper.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not sure where the border of Salt Lake
No, it touches.
Yeah.
That's like saying you played in Boise and it was technically Meridian. Yeah. It touches.
Yeah. It touches. It touches the border again.
Yeah.
All right. So, yes. So I played with the Guns N' Roses tribute band, which I did that also last November at the same venue. But the only same person in the band is the guy that plays Slash, Brandon Fields.
And then you.
And then me. Yeah. Now, Brandon had played with a couple of the other guys for a few shows, but so Brandon had told me that last time I played, he said it was kind of like having a baseball team.
Oh.
And
what?
He tends to fill those spots with whoever's available and for however long they're available. And he's got no Chip, Jamie. Chip is on the road. He's got...
That sounds like Built to Spill.
Yeah. So Built to Spill, I think...
That's more intentional.
That's more intentional. Yeah. So Doug Marsh from Built to Spill, I think that's the whole premise of that band, is that he would purposely change the band out.
Yeah.
So it was Built to Spill.
Very
right?
clever.
Clever.
What a clever thing.
I know how clever it is. Yeah, we can slip into all sorts of things by accident here.
It's a fine line between clever and stupid.
That's right. Now, how many people would get that reference? I bet Jamie would.
Of course Jamie would.
Of course Jamie would. Jamie, if you don't get that reference, I'm going to smack you when I see you next.
Jamie, just say you get it.
So, what was I talking? Oh, yeah. No Chip. Nope. Enough's Enough has like 3 months of dates booked. So no Chip. Nope. So the band this time was composed of a bass player from North Carolina, Aaron, and he plays in a GNR tribute band back there called Shotgun and Roses.
Shotgun and Roses.
Yeah. And he's probably in his early 20s, and he was freaking an amazing bass player.
I got to look them up.
And he looks the part and all of that, and he was super cool and great to be around. And then the singer, Rusty, is from East Tennessee, and he also plays in a Guns N' Roses tribute band back there called Night Train. And I guess that particular GNR tribute band is hugely successful.
Oh.
And super cool guy. And then the other guitar player, Joe, is from Vegas. And I met Joe about 5 minutes before the gig. And it's kind of interesting because you get 5 different people who haven't played together and no rehearsal, no sound check even this time, just a line check, and just go for it like you're a band that's been together for a long time anyway. And so that was, it's interesting.
Yeah.
But at the same time, everybody just knows their parts so well that it just really comes together. It works, and it works. And it's pretty impressive that everybody is prepared. So driving home from the gig, I had all this time to kind of reflect on that whole experience, my second time having that experience, and then some other fill-in stuff I've done recently. And I thought, what makes a musician easy to work with? So that's our topic today,
Okay.
producer.
All right.
So are you ready to dive in?
Oh, yeah.
I think the audience is like, get to it.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of talented musicians out there, but talent alone doesn't determine if you get called back or not. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but if you played long enough, you realize pretty quickly that some people are easy to work with and some not so much. And
why do you suppose that is?
Well, that's what I want to know. Why do you think that is, producer?
I don't know.
There's
maybe ego.
Yeah, I think that's part of the list. But it's have you ever worked with someone super talented but difficult, aside from me?
Yes. Well, I don't want to say that necessarily that they were talented, but they were definitely difficult.
Well, I'm not asking you to name names. I don't think we should name
I'm not
names.
going to. No.
Okay.
And I'm not even saying it's anything recent, so.
Yeah. So, but you could tell me off air. Who that is? Do I know?
Happen.
Do I know this situation?
I don't know.
Oh, that's interesting that I wouldn't know. I said besides me. You know, sometimes producers can be difficult to work with.
It's in the job description.
It's in the job description to be difficult to work with. I think that comes down to like live sound engineers too.
Yeah, let's just lump that all in.
Prerequisite: be grumpy.
2, have gear. 3,
like
10,
actually
know how to use it.
Actually knowing how to mix a band's pretty low on the list. Number 1 is just be a grumpy ass to deal with.
Number 2, have the gear.
Yeah,
or most of it.
Yeah, I think that's how a lot of singers wind up in bands, is they own a PA. It's true. It's true. I think a lot of singers end up in bands because they own the PA, and maybe they learn to sing, and maybe they don't. So, you know, I told my students for years that, you know, especially if they want to be playing at a higher level or they want to get into bands and do stuff that's cool and successful, is like, yeah, attitude or ability is a must. You just have to have ability, right?
Of course.
But attitude's going to be number 1. Like, you got to be that person that people want to be around. So talent is not the top factor. Talent gets you noticed, and personality keeps you working.
Wow.
So people will hire the people they want to be around, right?
Yeah.
That they enjoy being around. So as those out there are listening or watching, if you have a situation that you want to tell us about, pop it in the comments there.
Mm-hmm.
So have you ever worked with somebody super talented, but they were just a difficult person to deal with?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Without naming names, I'd be curious, like, what was the thing that made them difficult?
Yeah, what made them difficult?
Yeah. Being difficult to work with.
Here's
Yes.
I've experienced this a lot, I guess. And this I don't know if this is necessarily a personality trait. I guess it sort of is, but someone who is difficult to work with is one who does not show up prepared.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not that they're a jerk, but when everybody does the homework and they show up and they did not learn the songs, or now we're having to, I don't know how many times we'd have rehearsals at church where somebody didn't learn the song, and now we're going over and over and over something, and we're not getting to run all the songs, and you're talking about a Sunday morning, and that's a big problem because you don't have time for that. You need to have known the songs by then.
Yeah.
Especially since we had our Wednesday rehearsal.
Exactly. Well, for me, I don't have to sit behind the drums to work on a song.
True.
I already know how to play the drums. So I don't have to, like, I could just put my earbuds in and listen to a song.
Uh-huh.
Now, depending on, the complexity of the song, I might have to listen to it a lot. But I think just listening to a song repeatedly, you start to internalize that song. And so when you actually go to play it or go rehearse it with the band, you already kind of have a grasp on what the song is going to do and what direction it's going to go.
Okay, well, I feel like when you show up for your rehearsal, you should know how to play that song as if it was time to perform it.
I agree. But some people have limited time.
Well,
you were talking about the church thing.
Yeah, I mean, I either have that or I have my band. And
yeah, that's
pretty
true.
much whenever we show up, we're prepared for
Well, there's 3 stages, right? There's 3 stages. There's practice. That's what you do on your own. Then there's rehearsal. That's what you do with the band. And then there's the performance.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you skip step 1 and you integrate step 1 into step 2, that's frustrating for everybody around you.
Yeah. Hence, you've been the difficult one.
You've been the difficult one. It's like, wow, man.
Don't be that guy or gal.
All right, so Jamie's got some comments here.
Oh, I haven't seen his comments.
Let's go right here. Jamie says,
I'm on that delay.
Being a younger member of a band of much older guys had some challenges and a lot of growing opportunities. Yeah, so Jamie, that might be...
the guys in Jukebox aren't that much older than you. Just kidding.
I don't think he's talking about Jukebox.
I'm just joking.
I don't think he's talking about Jukebox.
I'm joking.
Yeah, I sometimes because I've been part of that too. Like if I'm in a band with some, especially when I was younger, if I got in a band with people that had way more experience than I did, it made me a little bit nervous. But at the same time, I felt like I could gain all this knowledge by being around them and playing with them. Because they've got the experience and they've got the wisdom, and sometimes they're more chill because they've been around the block a few times. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Jamie's got another comment. Let's go to Boyd.
There is the do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah, there is a do as I say, not as I do. Once I got chewed out for being a bit late for load in.
Oh,
then the one that chewed me out was late for the gig.
Oof. And did you stand with your arms folded and just look at him like with that look of disgust, like you were saying?
Oh, Trey Bledsoe is here, bro. I love you. I'm just gonna start putting that out there. Yeah.
Hello, Trey.
Hello, Trey. Trey's been on the show, my drum buddy from Kentucky.
You betcha.
Yeah. Trey probably could have all kinds of stories he could tell about people who are easy to work with or difficult to
all right,
work
so
with.
we've been talking about difficult. What makes someone easy to work with?
Well, okay, being prepared.
There we go.
Know the material. Respect rehearsal time. That's, JB's talking about being late, right?
Uh-huh.
Don't learn on the gig.
Yeah.
Is it ever acceptable to show up unprepared?
No,
it's not.
Well, I guess the only time it's acceptable is when you show up and somebody changes something on you and you had no idea. Then you really didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
But like you had a song the last time you went down there, or the first time I should say, and they're like, oh, play such and such song. You're like, what song is that?
Yeah.
Oh, it's real easy. It just goes like this. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. I've had a few of those experiences. But the other thing is, like, I think there's a difference in being given the information soon enough to be prepared versus getting a call at the last second to bail somebody out.
Right.
Maybe somebody's sick, or For example, when I went and played with Jukebox, I had 5 or 6 days before I had to play, and there was 150 songs to choose from. It's like, there's no way. There's no way to, learn that many songs.
Fortunately, you knew a batch of them already, just because you've played them before.
Well,
either with Cliff or with Emily or whatever.
But the other thing
or
is,
you played them when you were a teenager. Pour some sugar on me.
The other thing is like having enough skill to just keep time, right?
Yeah.
And the rest of the band is so super strong that they're like anchor points. They're not going to let you go off the cliff.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
Christian Housel is here.
Well, hello, Chris.
Let's put his comment up. This is a great discussion, and I think sometimes the inverse can be true. Sometimes there will be a very talented and collaborative musician in the band, but the rest of the band doesn't play at his or her level, and they quietly excuse themselves. It's a two-way street. You want to pick that apart, Mary Fisher?
Oh.
She's rereading it because I hear.
Well, no, I couldn't see his comment when you said it, and I like to be able to read it at the same time.
That's right, because you're on a delay.
Yeah, so it was like, I was trying to get it to refresh. I'm like, why is it not showing up?
Yes.
Sometimes there will be a very talented and collaborative musician in the band, but the rest of the band doesn't play at his or her level, and they quietly excuse themselves.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I can see that.
I get from Chris's comment that maybe you go to play with the band.
So okay, so I could take excuse themselves as two different ways, but I think what he's saying is, if I'm understanding it right, it's like, well, I'm just not that good, so whatever. I'll never be that good.
That's how you took it?
There's a couple ways to take it, but I feel like maybe that's the way he was like excuse, like I'm making an excuse I'm not that good, so I'm making excuses for myself for not being prepared or not being good. Is that not how he meant it?
I took it as they quietly excused themselves, as like they stopped playing with those people.
Yeah, that was the other way I was taking it too.
Like maybe you're playing around. Maybe it's not a
Chris, do you want to elaborate on that part?
I don't think it's a situation of. I think it's a situation of you get into something and maybe the quality of everybody around you is low for whatever reason. Maybe they just don't have the experience or whatever, and you feel like this is going to take a lot of work to bring the rest of the band up to par. That's how I'm reading it. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm going to leave it at that until Mr. Housel weighs in again, if he does.
Well,
Trey put a whole bunch of laughing faces.
Yeah. Well, there. I like the. Your little comment went away.
You want me to put it back? I put it back. Here it is back.
It's also an attitude when you're not good enough, like, and then you're just like, well, it's only church. It's only this. Like, we had that one musician who is, and you know who I'm talking about, who never showed up prepared, or we've played the same song for the last 15 years.
Yes.
And how do you not know how to play it still?
Yes.
And
that is frustrating.
And like, you've said, I've played this song so many times, there's no excuse for not knowing it by heart. Well, it's only church. I'm only doing it once a week. I'm not getting paid. So there's that, like, he's making excuses for not trying to bring his level up.
But yes, I know exactly. I think I know who you're talking about, but I know I know in general that some people just have that attitude. Like there's like, maybe there's no pressure to the gig whatsoever. And maybe they just have this attitude. It doesn't matter.
It's just a bar gig. Like, we're not playing Madison Square Garden. It's just a bar gig. Nobody cares.
But you're never going to get to Madison Square Garden with that attitude, right? If you're
Every
waiting,
gig should be Madison Square Garden.
I know. If you're waiting for the perfect gig to come along to go, okay, now I'm going to take it serious enough, the opportunity for it to be serious enough is never going to happen because you're building a reputation of not caring.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think.
There you go.
There you go.
Don't be the guy that doesn't care.
Don't be the guy that doesn't care. Exactly. I want to care. I want to care.
Oh.
And me without my sound effects pulled up. All right, let's see what James Harrison has to say.
James, see, I can't see his comments, so I have to keep refreshing.
Oh. James says, I think that one's true personality comes out when they're faced with some kind of hurdle or roadblock. Those situations can make their dark side come out. Very similar to any relationship or marriage. Sometimes it takes time to see one's true character.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep. You know, everything's fine until it's not. And then when it's not, what's going to happen? And I think more often than not, like the situation is not as dire as it might seem in the moment. Like, I asked for ranch and you brought me blue cheese.
Oh.
Now the gig's ruined, right?
Oh, no. I said green M&Ms, not yellow.
You there, go get the right sauce.
The It's Only crowd.
And bring me a beer without any hair in it. See how I tied that all back? Just like that, so seamlessly. So seamlessly. I'm Fred Fisher.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. Trey says, like Yngwie playing with Green Day. I never knew that Yngwie played with Green Day. And Chris Housel says, Fred's got it. See? My breakdown of Chris's comment was spot on.
So his comment was that they just leave? They dismiss themselves from the band? Is that what it was? Is that what you said?
Yeah. Dude, this only happened like 45 seconds ago. You already forgot what I said?
I'm just making sure.
Bro. Yeah. Okay. So just because I want everybody to see this, that I have it. See, Fred's got it. That I understand.
It's there in print.
Yep. I understand Chris Housel's comment.
Okay.
I want the recognition now. Don't forget that it's National Coffee Cake Day. You can buy me buy me a coffee cake after the gig.
Nope.
What do you mean no?
Nope.
Less bitch and more kitchen? Is that how that?
Yeah, less bitching, Fred. Get in the kitchen. Make your own.
Oh, so Trey said, it's a joke. Yngwie would hypothetically excuse himself from Green Day. See, because Yngwie is so much on a higher level than Green Day. There we go. See, now Trey had to paint a picture for me, which I appreciate, and now I've got it. And Jamie Vink says mom and dad are fighting.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, well, I'm looking back at Chris's comment.
Okay.
And so, okay, I see how I...
Do you want me to bring it back
up? I see it. I see how I misinterpreted.
I know you did.
I took it as the bad musicians, the ones that at the lower level were excusing themselves.
No.
And he was saying, yeah, okay. Thank you, Trey, because that made it make sense. Thank you.
Next time I argue with Mary and I can't get her to understand, I'm calling Trey Bledsoe up.
Trey, can you please explain this?
Trey, I tried. She's a girl. So there you go. All right. So Trey said the It's Only crowd.
The It's Only crowd.
Yeah. It's only this. It's only
a bar gig. It's only church. It's only once a week.
Yeah.
It's only the one time. We're never playing this one again.
So the drummer, Walfredo Reyes Jr., the drummer for Chicago, which I know a little bit, he posted it yesterday or the day before is how do you get the big gig? Like he's got the big gig with Chicago, right?
Yeah.
He said you get the big gig by doing 1 million small gigs.
Oh.
So that ties into Trey saying the it's only crowd. Like having that attitude, it's only this, it's only that. Like, why should I put any effort into this? Because it's only whatever that
It's
thing
only a
is.
bar gig. Why should I wear cool shoes?
I knew shoes would come into this picture. I even wrote shoes on page 2.
They have cool shoes that are comfortable too.
Trey says, I'm around. Want my PayPal?
Ooh.
See, I could hire Trey to fight my battles against Mary.
Wow.
All right, moving along. So we talked about know the material, respect rehearsal time, blah, blah, blah. Listening versus just playing. Play with people, not over them. Dynamic space awareness. Great musicians listen more than they play. I think I'd reframe that last sentence like great musicians listen so they know what to play appropriately.
You also made that sparked. There's also the one that thinks they're always right. It goes like this, or it's this chord, or it's this note, or whatever, and they're actually wrong.
Well, sometimes
they're right, but I'm talking about the ones that like insist that they're right about things, and they're not willing to change or listen to the fact that it could be.
I think that if you're a guest in the band, like somebody's hiring you to, like for me, play the drums. We'll use Pretty Tied Up as an example because that's a band that Trey's been playing for a long time, and now I've played with the band twice. Is asking the right questions before the gig. Like, do you guys play this exactly as the studio recording? And a band might say, yes, except for this song, we play it, or we end it how the band does live. And here's the video on YouTube of how the band does it live. Right?
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
Okay. So you got that. Another thing is, playing this Guns N' Roses show I did on Friday is they played November Rain, which I know that Trey, when he plays, has a track for that because it has all the orchestration in it, right?
Yeah.
And so Mary made a track for me to use for the band. And I called up Brandon. I just wanted to make sure it's the same arrangement as the studio recording and the same key, right?
That would have been awkward.
I didn't want to show up with the track that's in the key of the recording.
Oh, he dropped it half a step.
And the band's like, actually, play that tune down.
Whoops.
No, that would be bad.
Yeah.
That would be bad. So, I think if you do this enough, you start asking the right questions. But going back to Walfredo Reyes's post about like you get to the big gig by doing 1 million small gigs.
Yeah.
Well, if you treat all the 1 million small gigs with the it's only like what Trey said, the big gig's never going to come around.
Yeah.
So no matter the gig, I just think as if you have any self-respect for yourself as a musician, you would do everything that you could in your power to be prepared and to just make that happen like seamlessly. And even if there wasn't a big crowd, right? We're talking about what makes a musician easy to work with. Like, sometimes we have these expectations built in our mind about what a gig might be, or what our expectations of the crowd's going to be or whatever. But what about just what the expectations of the people around you are having?
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm going to be difficult and storm out. I have to go drive the kid.
Are you going to leave me by myself for a little while?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, sorry.
I'm going to mute your mic then.
Okay.
I should have done that earlier.
Oh!
All right. Well, as Mary, the producer, is going to go take our number 3 son to culinary school. He's almost done. He's on his way to becoming a chef, which is pretty exciting. And we get to sample some of that food every once in a while. All right, so let's move on. Ego and attitude. Maybe that might be a little bit what Mary was talking about, like the know-it-all in the band, or the know-it-all that shows up to fill in, who's always saying that's not how it goes, or that's not the right tempo, or that's not the right key, or that's not the right chord, or whatever. It's like, can you take feedback? What if that person's right? What if the band's been playing it wrong all that time? Is it worth the discussion to try to get them to change it just because you happen to be there? I don't know. I guess it's all how the information gets presented. I know for me, if I've been playing cover in a cover band for a long time, which I've done, is that you can learn a song how it's supposed to be, but over time it's slowly drifted or morphed into something else a little bit. Like it becomes the version of how that band plays that song. And it's just evolved over time of playing it, hundreds of times, or however many times you've played this song. That sometimes when you have somebody fill in and they go back and they actually listen to the recording, and then they come to play with the band, they go, wait a second, you're doing the chorus twice now at the end, or the solo's longer, or whatever it is. But those, you should be able to make an adjustment really quick musically to follow what the band is used to or wants. That's what I do too. Like when I am filling in for somebody, I might just try to get on their social media pages or a YouTube page just to see some live footage of how they might be playing some songs, because that can really bring to light stuff to be prepared for, is to go, oh, this is what they're doing. Now, granted, some people don't have all day to sit around listening and watching YouTube videos to be prepared. So I think that comes back down to like each person's individual skill ability to learn stuff quickly and get on with the show and be ready. So yeah, ego can kill opportunities faster than lack of skill. Like nobody wants to be around the know-it-all. And I think that might be part of what the producer was getting at. Jamie, let's talk about your being late thing. You got chewed out for being late, and then the person chewed you out was late for the gig. Did he say you're late? I got to go back and look. Jamie said, where is it? Once I got chewed out for being a bit late for load in. Yeah. Then the one that chewed you out was late for the gig. Jamie, if you're still here, I'd like to know more about that. As a drummer, I never get to be late for load in or load out, because as James Harrison, who's here, and Trey know, as drummers, it's like the whole band is depending on us to get our stuff moving, right? get it loaded and get it unloaded and get it set up and get all that stuff out of the way. So be on time, communicate clearly, follow through. Being dependable is a musical skill. I would also add to this that having gear that works. Jamie said it was a power play with the leader of the band. Ooh. So the leader of the band gave you a rundown for being late for load in, and then the leader of the band was late for the gig. I guess maybe in the hierarchy of bands, Jamie, you said you were young. Did you say anything, Jamie, about him being late for the gig itself? I'd be curious. What was the temperature of the room when the whole band got on stage? Was that an uncomfortable situation? I'm curious. I want to know. I've had arguments with band members moments before stepping on stage where prior to that everything was totally fine, and then some little whatever. No, you just shook. Jamie says no. I just shook my head. Excuse me. It's April and my allergies are freaking going off the rails here. Yeah. I started to say another thing about reliability and professionalism is make sure that your gear works and it's presentable. I like shiny things. I like the chrome on my drum hardware to sparkle. I like my drums to look pretty under the lights. And I have them set up in a way because I'm a more visual drummer. Just like my buddy Trey, we have a lot of big arm movements. And people need to see us doing those kind of things. So does your gear work and is it presentable? And here's the other thing. Are you dressing for the part? Like the whole package deal, right? Like if you're going to be a musician that's easy to get along with, especially if you're like a for hire musician, and I'm not excusing people that are being like they're in a band, like that's their thing, right? Is having it all together, like playing in a Guns N' Roses tribute band, and these guys, some of them wearing leather pants and boots and looking the part. And if I show up to play drums in a Hawaiian shirt and cargo shorts and sandals, the people in the band are probably going to look at me and like, it doesn't matter how well I play the drums, but man, if I look like they just rescued me from the beach, they're probably not going to ask me again. James, the shoes comments are coming. I have shoes written right here. Well, you can't see. Or let's see. Shoes. See? Shoes. Gear that works and is presentable. Dress the part. Shoes. See, there's the shoe comment. I knew the shoes was going to be a part of a thing. It always is. Yeah, Jamie says, don't look like you just got off work from Best Buy. Exactly. Just having that awareness around you is really, really important. Really, really important. And that comes back to Trey's comment about it's only this, it's only that, it's only this place, it's only nobody cares. You should care. You personally should care. If you don't care, you're probably not going to work for very long. That drives me nuts. Like, just don't we have any self-respect for ourselves to be good with our instrument? All right, I got to get back to James. Miguel's here. Miguel says, I know one thing. Someone shows up in sweatpants to a gig. May God have mercy on their soul. Who in the world is wearing sweatpants to a gig? I might wear them for load in to set up, sound check. But I don't wear them on stage. Good grief. Have stage clothes. Have stage clothes. And see, here's James. James knows my thing about shoes. Are you wearing shoes on stage? Yep. You betcha I am. Greg is here. Imagine when relic drum kits come into vogue the same way relic guitars have. Well, there are drum kits out there, the vintage drum kits, Greg, that people seem to gravitate towards some. Now, if you want to talk gear and history of gear and where this gear came from and where it went and who owned what, I'm not the guy to ask. James Harrison is. James knows. I personally like new modern gear. And we all know that if you're dragging around drums and you're setting them up and tearing them down, setting up and tearing down, that stuff tends to wear out over time. You find yourself tightening the wing nuts on your stands just a little bit more and just a little bit more and just a little bit more. Yeah, it takes a beating. So I'm not really into the vintage or relic drum sets. Amy says that Fred, you are way too early for an early bird. Amy, I've been doing this show for 3.5 years at 7 a.m. So there you go. Thomas says, what did you wear for the Guns N' Roses gig? Okay, well, first of all, if somebody's just suddenly jumping in, I played with the Guns N' Roses tribute band, not Guns N' Roses. However, I probably would have worn the same thing. I have my black leather shoes that look kind of like rock and roll dress shoes, I guess. Very black, stretchy jeans and my black t-shirt with my necklaces and my black button-up shirt over that and my bracelets, and had my hair done and my tattoo, which I'm always wearing. That's what I look like I was in the band, Thomas. I look like I was in the band. Okay, there's a comment from James I wanted to get to, and I think it was about Walfredo. There it is. Talking about Walfredo Reyes Jr. Walfredo has played the big gig twice with Chicago and Santana. He did a video interview years ago and said he took wedding gigs after being with major artists just to make more connections. Yeah, the guy's always working. I saw a similar thing from Todd Zuckerman, the drummer from Styx. He was talking about in an interview that I saw with him where whatever big city he was in, he goes, just last week I was down the street playing the arena, and 5 or 6 days later he's rolling his gear into like a convention hall for a wedding reception. So even though he's still out playing big shows just like Walfredo, he's still doing some of this other stuff, making a living playing drums. Amy says, I think I remember you always being in jeans and tennis shoes. No, I haven't worn like blue jeans on stage in probably 20 some years, at least. I don't like wearing blue jeans to drum in because I think I look like I just walked out of the mall and onto the stage. Now, those have been watching know that I'm kind of anti-shorts. I did wear shorts for a while playing drums, but they were shorts that were from companies like Lip Service or Warren Star clothing. Like they were shorts made for being on stage. So it wasn't I was just grabbing something off the shelf at Walmart. Yeah. So moving along, we got stuck on shoes, as I always do. Musical awareness, like know your role, play for the song, and understand the style that you're playing. I think that's important. I have played with Cliff Miller the past 7 years, and that's more country Americana. I can't approach those songs the same way that I approach midline songs because they're not hard rock or heavy metal type songs. I got to play differently. I perform differently a little bit. I also have been playing with Gary Tackett in his Crossroads tribute band, the Crossroads tribute to Eric Clapton. That too is a style that's different. So I think I'm still able to have my personality in my drumming when I do those shows, but not to become the show. if that makes sense. So knowing your role and understanding the style and playing for the song. And that kind of goes back to being the music, knowing the material beforehand. So it's not just suddenly a surprise. And I would think too that when you're having the phone call conversation or the text message, like somebody says, "Hey, I need you for this show I have," that you go, "Oh, that's what this band is about." Like having that self-awareness to just choose the right thing to do. Moving on. Personality and vibe. Who doesn't want to hang out with me? Oh, let's see. Personality and vibe. Amy, this is a great question. I like it. Amy says, "Okay, so do you consider that a fun challenge when you play other genres?" I do. I do. Now, I would never make the claim that I'm a jazz drummer, and I would not ever intentionally pick a jazz gig. However, if somebody I knew really well called me and it was an emergency situation and they said, "Look, this is a jazz gig and we're kind of background noise in a restaurant. All I need you to do is keep time." I would take my brushes and I would go sit in and I would do my best to keep time and brush along through the songs. But I already have a little education in how jazz is played. And so I would do my best to keep some kind of jazz thing happening. And I would probably be inside very uncomfortable because that's not my lane that I run in, like, ever. Mine is sitting in here and working on jazz tunes that some of my high school and junior high students have to do, that I can help guide them in that. But Trey said Fred is a jazz drummer. I think you forgot the word "not" in your sentence, Trey. Fred is not a jazz drummer. uh, so Bet Jones is here. Says, "Saw your posted pics from the GNR gig. Great outfit, way to blend in and stand out." Yeah, you want to look like you're part of the band and that you're doing your part in you know taking care of my spot on the stage, so to speak. Like, I don't know. I think for me and anybody like close to my age, I would say 10 years in either direction. We grew up in an era where people seem to be interested in who everybody in a band was. So I'll use like Motley Crue for an example. And I don't care if you like Motley Crue or not, but everybody in that band has like a character, right? Everybody knew all four people in the band. And so I think we kind of had that in midline too, especially when it was me and Anthony and Scott and Stymie. Like that, us four people were part of that lineup for such a long, long time. And everybody's personality came through and everybody owned their spot on the stage. So I kind of take that same approach no matter who I'm playing with. It's like, this is my spot on the stage, and this is my area that is my responsibility to not only play, but to entertain. Miguel says, "Where are your jazz hands?" Is that the jazz hands? I think it is. That's how little I know about jazz. Yeah, but playing other genres is fun and can be challenging for sure. Okay, personality and vibe. Are you somebody that people enjoy being around? Do you bring positive energy? People don't just hire musicians, they hire the experience. So I sometimes am shy, but not always. And I'm not always like this animated around everybody all the time, because I think that probably could be a little overwhelming. um, you know, especially if you're traveling, you get to know people really, really well and find out what their habits are. Right. So you could show up to a gig and meet at the venue and get on stage and play and do the show. And then at the end of it, everybody goes home or goes their separate ways or whatever the situation is. But if you kind of get in a loop of now you're traveling with these people and they don't know you very well, some people have certain habits. I mean, you could throw hygiene into there, right? Like, so find out who has good hygiene routines or not. Who snores? Like if you're sharing a room with somebody, the person that snores, guilty as charged. Cleanliness habits, like how well you keep your space clean. I think, but if you have the right attitude going in, and you have the right respect for those around you, including yourself, I think everybody could keep their world pretty tidy and not. I I think of the movie Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, where is it John Goodman? Not John Goodman. Is that right? John Candy. John Candy and why am I spacing on Steve Martin? Steve Martin and John Candy are trying to get home to Chicago, and John Candy is a complete mess all the time. Like I've toured with people who are like that, and it can wear you out really quick. It can wear you out really quick. So being respectful all the time, everywhere, is going to be very, very helpful. But do you enjoy being around these people? And yeah, and I think James Harrison mentioned earlier, like sometimes people's dark side comes out. And then how do you navigate around that? Well, I think if generally speaking, everybody's really respectful of everyone around them, when those moments happen, I think they're much easier to deal with than if everybody's just kind of a grump all the time, which I've been around that too. So being enjoyable to be around, super important. Miguel says, a little tucked to the sides, but I'd hire you. Did I read that right? Miguel? A little tucked to the sides, but did you mean side? I don't know. I don't understand your comment. I need Trey to decipher that for me. Or Mary. What'd I miss? What I missed? Did I miss something? No. A little tucked to the side. There you go. Amy says, let's see. Amy, you are who I met first and it was fun. Now the lead singer is a little put off when I met him, so personality does make a difference on how I have perceived the band. Yeah, I think I understand what you're saying, Amy. I've probably been put off too, or caught off guard. I think would probably be more appropriate. Sometimes us musicians versus the people in the audience, we kind of get into a very narrow view of what's happening around us. So, especially if it's pre-show. That's why like Anthony and I recommend this for most singers. I recommend it for the whole band, but I think mostly for singers is this is their instrument. And so if before the show they feel like they have to entertain before the show by going out and mixing around with the crowd and talking a lot, especially if the environment's loud, that can be really hard on their voice. So I always recommend for singers to kind of just disappear. Like I think it's a good idea just to disappear and be away from people and get in your zone. Like I think that's really important. I too like to be left alone for a few minutes before I get on stage and warm up a little bit and just kind of get in that headspace. And so sometimes, like even after the show, if I go out to meet people right after a gig, I know in the back of my mind, I've got gear to deal with. Like I got to break that down and get it packed up and get it out because I've got people waiting on me. So sometimes I feel like I'm going through the motions a little bit, shaking hands and saying hi and maybe sign a few pictures or whatever. My mind's already over there. So that could be part of what's going on, Amy. But I do appreciate people coming and seeing, and I want to make sure that I can say hi when I have a moment to do that. So, yeah, you're talking about midline. And Jamie says, those aren't pillows. Yeah. So, side story off of Jamie's comment, like from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles on those aren't pillows. You know, when Midline was touring a lot, we didn't have a lot of money. We never had a lot of money, does it seem. You know, there was oftentimes 2 people to a bed. So this is like when it was the 4 band members and 3 crew people. So 7 of us. We had a drum tech, a guitar tech, and a sound guy, sound engineer. I woke up one morning and there was this hand over me like this. And I'm kind of looking at this hand and I'm like, the hand's moving, but my other hand's like here. And it was Scott Elliott's arm around me, kind of cuddling up to me, just like in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Like, huh? So I look, and this hand's kind of moving and kind of going like that. And I go, dude. And I hear this, dude. No, dude. Dude. It's like, what's your tattoo say? Dude, what's your say? Sweet. I went, dude. And he realized he was all cuddled up to me. And then we did the same thing, like, get off of me. And at that moment, we decided, okay, whatever side of the bed you sleep on at home, you're going to sleep on the opposite side of that bed on the road. So, so we didn't cuddle anymore. We got stories, man. But that's one of them. So there you go. What makes someone hard to work with? And I think we've covered some of these, but let's hit these points, like chronic lateness. Now, I know I have some friends in my life who, no matter what, they are late to everything. Late, 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 late. I don't like it when people waste my time or that they don't communicate that they're delayed or something. Like, you're just kind of left to wonder, like, do they know they're supposed to be here? They know the show's today, right? They know that downbeats, like, they know that sound check started 20 minutes ago. Like, are they like, what's going on? That's another thing, like with Midline. No other band that I've played with ever really did this, but even for local shows, Midline will travel together as a band. Like, we meet up, we load up, we all ride in the same vehicle to the show, we all show up together, we all leave together. That's kind of been our thing for 36 years. Wow, the band's been around a long time. So that's been our mode of operations, is that the band always travels together. So we don't really have this late issue with our band, but I've been in plenty of other situations where somebody is always late. Don't be that person. Don't be that person. I think it's good to show up a little early and to wait around a little bit than to show up late. It's just bad business, man. Overplaying. That comes back to like musical awareness. Like, I hate the term less is more. I am not a fan of that term of less is more. I am a fan of playing what's appropriate for the song. And if that means play less, great. If that means play more, play more. Play for the song. This whole attitude of less is more, I'm like, it's like a default setting, right? It's like the stock saying that every musician has to prove their point of not overplaying. But yeah, overplaying. Like gospel chops don't belong in Guns N' Roses songs, right? Bop 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 bop. That's like the main drum fill in like every Guns N' Roses song. Now, I'm not criticizing it. I'm just saying that that was the right choice to make for those songs, right? So that's what you play, but you're not going to go play a bunch of 16 note triplets around everything and let the band wonder where one's going to be. Like play appropriate for the song. Negative attitude, like the guy that's saying, "I hate it when people say less is more." No, there's a lot of people that can be very negative. One thing that I've learned for sure over time is that I only want to be concerned with what's in my control. And usually that's my immediate world of what I'm doing and and being ready and being part of the problem or part of the solution, not part of the problem. There are so many other people that worry about like if they're going to get fed or not. Like that's their big concern. Like, are they going to feed us? Are they going to feed us? Like that's what you're worried about? Now, granted, like food is important, and a lot of times that's part of your compensation is being in a band, is being fed. But if that's like the first thing on your mind, that might not be a great thing. But going back to Trey's comment, it's only this, it's only that. It's like not the care factor. When the care factor is so low and the negative attitude comes along, I'm just like, man, I'm not really interested in doing more with you. So like Chris Housel says, I'll just quietly excuse myself. I'm no longer available. Not listening. I think that goes for uh, falls into either not listening musically or not listening in communication. So, some bands I've been in, there's been great communication, but there's always somebody that doesn't confirm something. Like, here's where the gig is, here's when the load in time is, here's where we start playing. And you could see everybody in the text message go, got it, perfect. And then there's always that one person that's you're left to wonder, like, did they get the message? And those are typically the people like day of show that are messaging somebody in the band like 10 minutes after they're supposed to be there. I can't find a place to park. Well, maybe you would have if you were on time. You could have found a place to park. There's all kinds of, I mean, we could probably all dream up some thing that happened or so, or be relatable to something that we've experienced personally, right? So confirming communication, like this is what we're doing. Or you send a set list to some people and they're like, I never got it. You were waiting till now to tell me you didn't get it. Did you check your email? Oh, you emailed it to me? Yeah. 6 weeks ago. And then next on the list would be drama. We've all been around our drama queens, right? I think that I've been guilty of being a drama person when I was younger. Sometimes there's just stuff I don't like. But as I've gotten older, I've lightened up on so much stuff. Like it's like it's some stuff's just not worth worrying about or arguing about. Don't be the drama person. Don't there's a lot of people that manufacture drama. Like they just, I don't know, something inside them kind of lives off of the need to have that chaos in their life. I am not a big fan of that. Amy says, that's the one you want to give them the info to be there 2 hours before you guys. Yeah, see, that kind of becomes hand-holding, though, too, Amy. It's like you don't want to be coddling and holding everybody's hand on, well, I know this person's irresponsible, so I'm going to give them information again earlier or right before they need it. Like, man, can't you just be an adult and be responsible? How do you get the big gig? What did Wally say? By doing a million little gigs, but doing those great. So really, at the end of the day, being a great musician isn't about what you play. It's about how you show up. Right? Yeah. So you don't have to type this answer. If you want to, that would be cool. But just like to put in the back in your mind is, if your bandmates described you, what would they say about you? Yeah, Beth says drama. Don't pet the sweaty things. I think you meant don't sweat the petty things. But don't pet the sweaty things. That's probably a good plan, too. That sounds like an ooh moment. Amy says true, but what would be the time to say sorry, time to move? When would be the time? Amy. Amy says true, but what? True, but that would be the time to say sorry, time to move on. So I think I just read that correctly now. See, I can read. I can read. Yeah. I think there's really so much a professional musician will put up with, right? Beth says, no, I said what I meant. Pet the sweaty things. What was I saying? I was saying most professional musicians have like a tolerance for stuff and for situational things. And when you kind of get around things that are like, this isn't right, you don't have to make a big blow up deal about it. Like Chris Housel said, you could just excuse yourself from that situation. Like you could do that once or twice maybe, but after a while you just kind of go, I'm not interested in that. Like, I don't know, your standards become a little bit higher. And that's not to be like looking down my nose at somebody that is just getting started. Like we all have to start somewhere and learn, right? And get going. And there's nothing wrong with that, but great communication skills, I think that's really, really important. Being professional all the time is really, really important. Look around you and realize where you are is important. And deciding like, are those something to be concerned about or not? Like, oh, I had to park across the street instead of right in front of the door. Is that something to worry about? Probably not. Probably not. That comes in with that drama stuff, right? So I think that's a pretty good outline of what makes a musician easy to work with. And everybody had really great stuff to say and weigh in. Appreciate that. I want to say one more time that the Drummergy Podcast is sponsored by 12th Fret Music. Now, all of us who live in town in Boise, if you have not been to 12th Fret Music yet, you need to go. You need to go. I believe they have Vader drumsticks and Aquarian drumheads available now for us drummers. So that's another spot to go visit to get your drum stuff. Sticks and drumheads. It's a good thing. 671 South Capitol Boulevard in downtown Boise, Idaho. Go check it out. And they have the world's largest guitar amp right there on the wall. 64 412 Marshall cabinets all hooked up. It's, if you saw that scene in Back to the Future with the one speaker, well, What is 64 times 4? Because that's how many speakers are there. I got to do the math. 64 times 4 speakers. 256. 256 12-inch speakers all pointed right at your face. That's why I look like I don't have eyebrows. See, look. Do I look like I have eyebrows? And it also looks like I don't have eyelashes. That's how light. Trey said 64 times 4 equals 3 million. I aced math. It sure seems like there's 3 million speakers, Trey. It's a whole another level of volume. Think about all of those speakers moving air. That's like where you feel your soul like exit your body a little bit and then return and exit and return. It's like yeah. It's impressive. It's impressive. We'll say that for sure. Next week, I will have Matt Starr on the show. Trey says you divide 3 million by 2, and that's 9. Of course it is. Trey, you and I only have to count to 4 over and 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 over. So you and I are good, man. You and I are good. So next week, we will have Matt Starr here, drummer from Ace Frehley Band, Mr. Big. I think he and the rest of the Ace Frehley Band have been doing some shows recently, like a tribute to Ace Frehley. And he's also doing this Dio Rules band where they're doing a tribute to Ronnie James Dio. Trey says, great show, buddy. Thanks, man. I really appreciate you hanging out, dude. Love it. Love it. Let's talk soon. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. I will see you next week. Excuse me. And have a great week. Be the person out there that other people want to work with, even if you're not a musician. Be that person at work that people want to be around. Be that person in your family that people want to be around. Be the person in your friends group that people want to be around. There you go. There's your sage advice from Fred Fisher. All right. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.